question for the table, presented by Oikos Triple Zero.
Okay.
Who is next up in the game in week 4? What's up, Kyle? What do you got?
Nate? I think you should.
You want me to go?
Don't
you don't
fight,
mind.
you guys. Come on, come on.
All right, you want me to fuel the hustle? Well, a guy that I want to fuel their hustle is Kyler Murray versus the Seahawks. Kay, you just talked about him in your fantasy segment, right? And of course, Kyler Murray did some good things last week, but now he's really starting to catch his rhythm. This is what I need. Kyler Murray up against a guy who they also said was too short. Up against a guy who they also said, he's a little bit too athletic. Up against a guy that they doubted in Russell Wilson. I love when you have these matchups where guys can look across the field and see almost a direct reflection of themselves. Kyler Murray, go out there and be what Russell Wilson, and I'll say this sounds crazy, but be what Russell Wilson used to be. You know how you have that laid-back, passive Russell Wilson who doesn't need to wear the weight of the world on his shoulders, and be Mr. Magic Man spinning around 3 times and throwing an 80-yard bomb? He's a little bit more relaxed because he has more help. Remember when Russell Wilson had to do it all?
Oh, yeah.
He accounted for like 85% of that. He was John McClain. I need Kyler Murray to do that. At some point this year, Cliff Kingsbury is going to look at Kyler Murray and say, hey, dog, just do what you did in high school, do what you did in college, freestyle a little bit, and be a playmaker. So, Kyler Murray, fuel your hustle.
It's getting better every week.
He is getting better every week. It's an interesting statistic we revealed yesterday on the show. I'm going to bring back for my Fuel Your Hustle.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes' record indoors.
I love
you guys know it? And we talked about it yesterday.
So good.
Patrick Mahomes has never played a regular or postseason game indoors, meaning this is the first time this week when he goes into Detroit. 17-5. But look at 0-0-0-0-0. That's with elements in Kansas City that included snow, includes rain. That's what he does outside. What's he do inside? The last time we saw Patrick Mahomes play an indoors ball game, it was against Baylor on Thanksgiving weekend a few years back. Let's see how that went for the Baylor Bears and that defense. Oy!
That's in one game?
That's in one game.
Hasn't Baylor had enough, Peter?
As I said, 586. I said yesterday, 6 tugs. But I keep on prefacing this by saying it's been just games that have been regular season or postseason. You guys do remember that Kyler Murray did play a game indoors in the NFL. It happened last summer in August. It's against the Falcons in a preseason game. How did that turn out? Check out this highlight from Kyler throwing to Tyreek in a preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. Watch the ball.
This is Mahomes.
Sorry.
Peter, you're always on the next man. Come on now.
That's 70 yards in the air. It's probably my favorite Mahomes pass we've ever seen on film. It's just a beautiful high arc, 70 yards in the air to Tyreek. It's the only time in the NFL he's ever been indoors under a roof. So who do I say fuel your hustle for? Oh, it's going to be a long afternoon for Mr. Paul Pasqualoni. Paul Pasqualoni is the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. If you don't remember his name from the NFL, you certainly know his name from the college game. He was the head coach of Syracuse for 14 years. He's not the youngest of DCs. He's not the new hot thing, but he can call a game. And the Lions defense has been clicking through 3 weeks. After Syracuse, he went to the Cowboys under Parcells. Then he was the DC under Tony Sparano in Miami. Then he went to the Bears, the Texans. He was coach at UConn. Then he was at BC. And now he comes full circle to be the defensive coordinator that faces Patrick Mahomes in his first game ever indoors at Ford Field. I have nothing else to say, but good luck, Paul.
Good luck, Paul.
Lock and load.
Never seen him before. Paul, all right.
That's
you got,
intense. That's a lot. I've never been to Buffalo.
Okay.
Not ever, not for a football game, but I know that there is a stadium there that fills 70,000 raging Bills fans. They call themselves the Bills Mafia. I don't need to know them or be friends with them or even see them face to face to know how intense this fan base is. So my Fuel Your Hustle is just this home crowd. Bill Belichick talked about it. Both these squads 3-0, New England having to hit the road and go there on their home turf. And this is what he said in his press conference. They're totally into it, vocal, have a great passion for the game. Some stadiums these days, I would say, don't have quite the intensity Buffalo does because of club seats and other things going on during the game. At Buffalo, you get 60 minutes. They're there to watch the game. They're there to cheer and be into the game. It's kind of like there's no other agenda. I imagine that to be true. I imagine the tailgating scene, the fact that this team is undefeated, we're going to see a lot of craziness in the parking lots, of course, but really be present. Help your quarterback get you guys to 4-0 with a win over the Patriots, and then everyone will be forced to take you guys more seriously than they already are, and they already should. And, I don't know, did you guys see this baby thing going on?
No.
What baby thing?
The baby table crashing.
Oh, I saw that. A baby, okay.
I don't really know what to say about this.
Absolutely love it.
That's the first time I've seen that.
Does he have a Stevie Johnson jersey on?
Oh my God!
Get that kid a beer.
He's wearing Zubaz.
This has been going on a lot this
She went
week
hard.
and all season, and this is what we're going to see. This is a beautiful, passionate fan base that needs to bring
That's
it against
sick.
the Patriots.
That's what happens when
sick.
you
I love it.
get when you get breast milk hammered.
I think they waited too long for that kid. Come on, you got to take care of that right there in the emergency room, wherever you got to do it.
Okay, that's insane.
The Apgar, and then you do the table.
That was wild. I've never seen that before.
That is going to be a crazy atmosphere. It's the biggest game in Buffalo in a long time. I'm going to transition to, if we're talking about fueling hustle, the guy who usually loves the fuel, Baker Mayfield. Baker, it's week 4. Let's go. Aren't you the guy who saves things on your phone and every slight, and you go after radio hosts and everything? Well, the fish must be jumping in the boat for you right now, Baker, because it ain't happening. Rex Ryan, threw some crap against the wall and said you're the most overrated guy ever or something, and Baker said, well, he doesn't have our colors on. In fact, Rex Ryan doesn't have any colors. You know, Baker's really good at making those comebacks. I would love if he made one on the field, too.
Oh.
I mean, let's go. Here's the thing about Baker that's really compelling to me. He has 5 interceptions this year. Oof. All 5 of them are in the fourth quarter.
Crunch time.
All 5 are in money time. Fourth quarter, Baker Mayfield, #1 overall pick time. This is a rivalry game, all right? He's been through the Red River. He lost his first one. He was 0-1 in the Red River against Texas. Then he goes and he wins the next 2. This is the closest you're ever going to get. That purple uniform is your Red River. Baker, if you guys go 1-3, we're talking about something else. I didn't think that was possible with this team, but make a comeback on the field. Say a little after, I'm into you. I pledge to you, but you got to help me help you again.
That's Fuel Your Hustle, presented by Oikos.
Put it in your phone.
000 help me help you. The Eagles might need some help. They're off to a